Life is rarely the perfect picture we hope for. There are times when everything feels uncertain, like walking through a fog that never seems to lift. You've poured your energy, your passion, and your time into everything you do, yet instead of feeling fulfilled, you are left with emptiness, frustration, or bitterness. You ask yourself why things are so hard, why happiness always feels just out of reach, even when you've worked so hard to find it. Perhaps the answer doesn't lie in what you failed to do or the opportunities you've missed, but in the truths you've yet to confront. Life is harsh, yes, but it is in these very challenges that the deepest lessons of life are hidden. Stoicism, with its sharp clarity and profound depth, reminds us that happiness doesn't come from escaping reality. It comes from facing it head-on. These truths are not easy to hear, and they may not be what you want to believe. But when you confront them with courage and resilience, they will unlock a kind of strength and peace that you didn't know was possible. These are not just abstract ideas. They are hard-earned lessons drawn from centuries of human experience, reflection, and wisdom. They will likely unsettle you at times, perhaps challenge your very way of thinking, but do not turn away. These harsh truths hold the key to transforming your life into something meaningful, something real. What you are about to read will not give you a quick fix or a simple solution. But if you are ready to face these lessons, they will reshape how you view the world and ultimately how you live in it. This journey will challenge you, but it is a journey worth taking. 1. Change is the only constant. Change doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock politely on your door and wait for you to let it in. Change is relentless, often arriving uninvited, sweeping through your life like a storm, scattering everything you thought you could rely on. The Stoic approach to change is rooted in the understanding that the world is in constant flux. No matter how tightly we grip onto something, no matter how much we hope things will stay the same, change is inevitable. What is within our control is not to fight against this reality, but to accept it. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that we cannot control the world around us, but we can control our response to it. When we resist change, we suffer. The sooner you accept that change is the only constant, the sooner you will find peace. Life does not wait for you to be ready. It will continue to evolve, with or without your permission. Your relationships, your job, your health, everything will change. The Stoic doesn't lament over what has passed or what may come. They focus on how they will choose to respond to the present. 2. The only person you can control is yourself. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your happiness depends on other people. You might think that if only your partner understood you better, if only your boss recognized your efforts, if only your friends were more supportive, then life would be better. But this way of thinking is not only unproductive, it's also destructive. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing within our complete control is ourselves. We cannot control the actions, thoughts, or feelings of others, no matter how hard we try. People will disappoint us. They will act in ways we don't understand, and they may even hurt us. But in each of these moments, we have the power to choose how we respond. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and Roman emperors, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Accepting this truth gives you the freedom to let go of the need to control others. It allows you to focus on what is truly in your power, your thoughts, your reactions, your decisions. Happiness doesn't come from manipulating the external world to fit your needs. It comes from mastering your own inner world. When you focus on your own growth, rather than attempting to change others, you unlock the peace you've been searching for. 3. Suffering is a part of life, not the end of it. In a culture obsessed with happiness, we often forget that suffering is an inevitable part of the human experience. Whether it's physical pain, emotional loss, or mental exhaustion, suffering will touch all of us at some point. The Stoics don't shy away from this truth. They embrace it. They understand that pain and hardship are not signs of failure, but natural parts of life. It's how we handle suffering that defines us. Seneca, another influential Stoic, once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When you accept that suffering is a part of life, you stop fearing it. Instead of avoiding pain at all costs, you learn how to navigate through it. Stoicism encourages us to practice resilience, to see every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Suffering, when approached with the right mindset, is transformative. It doesn't define you unless you let it. The Stoic way is to embrace hardship, learn from it, and use it as a stepping stone to a better, more meaningful life. When you stop running from pain and face it directly, you unlock a deep well of inner strength. 4. You will never be fully in control of your life. If you spend your life believing you can control every outcome, every situation, you will inevitably live in a state of perpetual frustration. The truth is, no matter how hard you plan, how carefully you prepare, life will always have a way of throwing the unexpected at you. You can't control when a loved one falls ill, when an opportunity slips through your fingers, or when a crisis hits. But here's the key. You don't have to. The Stoic view is not to surrender to chaos or give up on planning, but to recognize that there are things beyond your control. The Stoic mind accepts that while you can control your efforts, you cannot control the outcomes. Your happiness will not come from trying to control life, but from learning how to navigate it with grace, wisdom, and equanimity. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." By accepting the uncertainty of life, you free yourself from the anxiety that comes with trying to control everything. Instead, you learn to focus on what you can influence, your actions, your mindset, and your choices. 5. Death is inevitable, and it's a reminder to live fully. One of the harshest truths that Stoicism teaches is that death is inevitable. No matter who you are, where you live, or what you've achieved, you will eventually die. It's easy to avoid thinking about death, to push it into the background of your mind, hoping it will never come. But the Stoics didn't shy away from this truth. They embraced it as a call to live fully. Seneca, in his letters, wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." The awareness of death isn't meant to be morbid. It's meant to inspire us to live with urgency. When we remember that our time is limited, we begin to prioritize what truly matters. We stop procrastinating, stop wasting time on trivialities, and start focusing on what brings us real fulfillment. Living with the awareness of death makes every moment more precious. It challenges us to live deliberately, to make choices that align with our deepest values, and to appreciate the beauty and fragility of life. When we face death, we learn to live with intention, making every day count. Conclusion: embrace the harsh truths and transform your life. These truths are not easy to accept, but they are essential if you wish to live a happy, fulfilling life. Change is constant. You cannot control others, only yourself. Suffering is inevitable, and it's how you respond that matters. Control is an illusion, and finally, death is not a reason to despair, but a reminder to live fully. Embrace these lessons, and they will empower you to live with greater resilience, peace, and purpose. They will help you navigate the ups and downs of life with a steady heart and a clear mind. The Stoic approach is not about avoiding hardship, but about learning how to face it with courage,